Masquerade, paper faces on parade. Masquerade, hide your face so the world will never find you. Or maybe they will. Maskerade by Terry Practchett from Discworld, coming right up here on Drew's Book Reviews. All right. Welcome to another episode of Drew's Book Reviews. Let's talk about Maskerade by Terry Practchett from the Discworld series. But before we get into this book, make sure that you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe so that you can get all the awesome videos that I'm putting out here on science fiction, fantasy, non-fiction, and all kinds of bookish related content. We maybe get to talk about some TV shows and all that stuff into the mix as well. I do post videos every Tuesday and Friday. So make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe to check out all that awesome content. And of course, if you want to keep seeing more Discworld content, because I am reading all the Discworld right through the end, one book a month through until I am finished. So you never know when I'm going to post another Discworld video. So today we're talking about Terry Pratchett's Maskerade. This is another one of the books in the Witches series from within the Discworld. I don't know about you guys, but I am really enjoying Discworld. It is an absolutely amazingly funny, awesome series of books, and it's just so great from every aspect of it. Terry Practchett knows how to make fun of everything, and this one is absolutely making fun of Phantom of the Opera. Absolutely love that about it. I'm a huge fan of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera specifically. I've seen the show multiple times, and I absolutely love it. I think Phantom of the Opera is one of the greatest stories ever told, at least in my humble opinion, as far as Andrew Lloyd Webber's go. I did read the book, it was okay, the book Phantom of the Opera, but in any case, this book totally makes fun of Phantom of the Opera with witches involved. I mean, you got Terry Practchett, you got witches, you got the opera. How can anything go wrong, right? So of course, this book deals with one particular person who has run away from Lancer, where the witches reside. And of course, the witches need a third witch because, of course, we all know that one of the witches got married off in a previous book and became queen and all that kind of stuff. So they need a new witch to kind of complete their three witches, which they need. Of course, you can't just have two witches, you have to have three witches. So they've gone off to Ankh-Morpork to try and find their runaway Perdita X, as she goes by now, to try and get her to come back to join them in their witch's brew, so to speak, and become three witches again. So that is basically the basis of this whole book from start to finish. But of course, Perdita, she runs off and she wants to join the opera. Now, Perdita, she's described as having a nice personality and great hair. That's about all anybody ever says positive about Perdita X. So of course, you know, this is kind of implying, without directly saying, that Perdita isn't exactly the most attractive person in the world, because, you know, she's got a nice personality. She finds herself at the opera with an incredible talent for singing in the opera, so of course, she's got the talent. In the meantime, Christine, and yes, this book even pulls characters' names from the Phantom of the Opera as part of this whole concept of making fun of Phantom of the Opera. Christine is the beautiful, slender, gorgeous lady who can just fit the roles perfectly. But of course she can't sing. So we've got Perdita, who is doing the singing for her, essentially. And of course we have the opera ghost, who's going around causing all kinds of trouble at the opera and wreaking havoc, and, you know, the witches have finally had enough. They want to try and get to the bottom of this, and they start poking around, as they're so good at, of course, poking around at everything, getting involved, you know, and just really putting their witches' noses in where they don't belong. Part of the whole opera. But just from start to finish, this book is absolutely hilarious, as it always is. As soon as I started reading this and realized it was a Phantom of the Opera parody, I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is so perfect. I love the Phantom of the Opera. It is absolutely awesome in every respect. I love the Phantom of the Opera. And I love the fact that this is a parody of the Phantom of the Opera. So if you have not picked up Maskerade, you definitely have to do so. And as usual, Terry Practchett puts in his little nuggets of wisdom throughout this book. And one of the lines in there that kind of stuck out to me is, we all wear a mask of some kind. Every last one of us. And that just kind of sticks out. It's like, yeah, we all put it on his face. We all put out this idea of what we think the world wants to see from us. So in a sense, we're all kind of wearing that mask, which is, as usual, Terry Practchett is putting that into his book in such a relevant and awesome way with this. And I love how he pokes fun at Phantom of the Opera. Now, he doesn't follow Phantom of the Opera story exactly, but definitely It's all about the show must go on throughout this book. So despite everything that's happening, despite the murders, despite the tragedies, despite everything, the show must go on. And of course, nobody can understand what's going on, but they all insist the show must go on. So they keep trying to put the show on, and of course, everything from the audience thinking all this terrible stuff going on is part of the opera and part of the experience, and they just keep diving right into it. And of course, death, of course, makes an appearance as well within this book, because why not, right? People are dying, and the character of Death is by far, I think, one of my favorite characters of the Discworld series. Death is absolutely hilarious. Anytime Death's involved, there's always this great conversation with Death about from the person dying, talking to Death, saying, what's going on? Why is this happening? Death's like, look, I don't know, man. Look, you're dead, all right? You just need to come with me. Don't worry about that. Let the living worry about that kind of thing. And it's just hilarious when Death gets involved. Because Death is just a hilarious character, and the witches are hilarious. And everything about this whole series, and about Discworld, and especially about Terry Pratchett's clear and evident parodies of pop culture items like Phantom of the Opera. All of it just is absolutely hilarious. I absolutely love the way Pratchett writes. I love his stories. I love his books. This is definitely a top-notch Terry Practchett read. If you haven't read Terry Practchett Discworld, Maskerade is definitely a book you'll enjoy, especially if you like Phantom of the Opera. I would highly recommend you check out Maskerade by Terry Practchett, because it's hilarious, it's awesome, and of course, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. Check this out, it's a great read by Terry Practchett, and I'm sure that you'll enjoy it as well. So those are my thoughts here on Terry Pratchett's Maskerade from the Discworld. So worth the read. Check it out if you haven't already, and of course, don't forget, as always, to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought. Have you read Maskerade by Terry Practchett? Are you currently reading Discworld? What did you think of this series so far? What do you think of the Witches series so far? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. So like, comment, subscribe. You could join me on my Discord. You could also join me down on my Bookstagram as well. I'll have both of those linked below for you to check out. And as always, until next time, keep on reading. Bye!